All right, welcome back, Pokemon Go players, to another episode of the Purified podcast. Today is November 14th, 2021. I am your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Chris.
Hey, it's your boy, Pokemon Trigger. I'm in the middle of a battle, but I'm very happy to be here.
My man here going into the last second before we start the stream because he wants to play Pokemon Go every day. I'm doing all right, Chris.
It feels good to do some battles.
I know, right? Well, you know, it's been a little bit chilly today. It's actually the coldest we had here in Florida for the very first time. So it's not like it's the bad thing, but at the same time, I don't want to get out of the house.
Yeah, I woke up this morning and I was shivering. And I know a lot of you guys are probably cringing at that because, what is it, like 50 degrees at coldest when we're getting cold?
Well, no, it was like 62, I think, around here, Fahrenheit right now. Like, right now the weather is, like, weird as heck, but anyways. You know, it's Florida. It's supposed to be winter time here now, or at least, you know, I don't know if winter starts at the beginning of the year or the end of the year. I don't know. But either way, we're here once again to talk about all things Pokemon Go related news, updates, and writing about the game because we love the game just as much as you do. Let's remind everybody that we are part of the Professor Network. Please check us out, professornetwork.com/Purified Podcast. Every wonderful people to work with every single goddamn time. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, I that's all I got for him anyway today. So, oh, Lord. Well, being a chilly day and an interesting week, how's your week been so far?
I think it's been a pretty laid back week. I can't remember getting anything too crazy.
Right. Well, let's go ahead and recap then, since we're already here. And you can jump ahead, but anyway.
This week's been all right, I suppose.
Nice save.
I think I only got one shiny ore hundo, and it was a shiny Virizion that I got from a raid from a bunch of people in the Discord. I'm pretty sure you helped, so thank you very much.
Oh yeah, the Virizion.
Yeah, not the one I wanted. I really wanted to get a Terrakion. But he'll be back sooner or later, so I'm not super worried about it.
You know,
thank you.
Yeah, no, definitely. I usually try to do most raid hours in person now. Whenever I get the chance, if people want to really do it or not, that's up to them. But there's not a lot of people actually going to the raids. It's more like I invite people, but I'm in person. So I have the raid passes. I might as well use them. There's not much difference in that regard. So it's not a bad thing when it comes down to it. So your haul, pretty nice. No hundos, but, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. For me, I do have a little bit of a haul this week. Let's start with the shinies. I did get 2 shinies. One of them, actually, was also during raid hour, and it was a shiny Blitzel. So I'm happy about that because it's the very first Blitzel, and somebody in Discord said you need to evolve it because, you know, the very first time it got released, it had a hat. And nobody can evolve that, unfortunately. So, so they wanted to see the evolution, so I went ahead and did the evolution, and it actually looks pretty cool. I like it. I wish I would have actually gotten one more because I want to complete the family, but it's not a bad shiny. I like when he shines like that, anyway. So, and during raid hour, I also got a shiny Cobalion too. So, well, you got Virizion, I got Cobalion. I don't think anybody got Terrakion these days.
I personally don't know anybody off the top of my head that got it, but I've definitely seen plenty of pictures of it on Twitter. I'll tell you what.
Well, Twitter is Twitter in the end of the day, you know. So, as for hundos, I did at least get one this week, so I'm not hundoless this time, and it was from a research Magnemite. I already had the Magna Zone already technically to level 40, not level 50 yet. Unfortunately, I didn't get enough extra large candies for that yet, but not bad. I guess I'll keep it. My most notable catch, aside from that, was probably this Electrike. I'll show you here. I don't know if I have it.
Premier Master League for that Magnemite, by the way.
Yeah, no, definitely. I got this little Electrike, which when I checked the IVs, it was a Little Cup rank 1 Electrike.
Interesting.
I know. I was like, okay, all right. That's the very first rank one I ever get for anything for Little Cup, anyway. So, thanks
That's a
to
pretty spicy one too.
yeah, thanks to the Pokegenie, which is the IB calculator that actually helps me rate some of the ratings there. And trust me, it's actually a very good one. I recommend to anybody who uses iPhone to use Pokegenie. I know Kalki IV is a good one for Android and all the other devices, anyways. But even Pokegenie actually is in Android, so either way, it would be fine. So I don't know. It's just a nice little pick. First time I ever care about, so we'll keep it at that, I guess. After that, I really didn't get that much coverage on anything else. I mean, I was hunting, but not as active as I wish I would. And that's a lot of things that have been happening this last few weeks. Aside from the events not being as eventful as I wanted to be, I think because I'm a shiny hunter, it really depends on who I go out with or go out play with anyway. So it's just hard to do it by yourself. You know, it's hard to go to my grind place, just sit there for a couple hours or walk around a couple hours and then just, catch whatever Pokemon. It's just not fun when you're not hanging out with somebody. So
It's a lot of work too.
yeah,
for sure.
especially for yourself. Like if somebody else is driving you, then you're just like
Yeah,
catching everything you can and see, anyways. But at the same time, again, the events, they're okay. I don't mind them. It's just not enough. I don't feel it's enough for me to like boost out of my room and then literally go out and hunt them every single time. What do you think, Chris?
yeah. I don't think the events were bad. I think one of the things that really gets me, out and hunting, isn't necessarily the spawns. It's the research.
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously, you can't get the research at home. You can get Pokemon at home if you got spawn points.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really make you want to get out and get going. We got remote raids. We got in senses. So I don't know, when they get more fun, encounters from research. I think that's what really gets me exploring and spinning all the Pokestops. So I don't know. I think it was kind of lacking on that front for this one.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't too bad. We had like Battle 2 Rockets for a Blitzel. We had Battle Leader for a Bullaby, which, the shiny was released just earlier this week. We had a lot of different research, which were not bad, but a little time consuming, which, the ones they said catch 5 Pokemon or 5 fire Pokemon or electric types, it doesn't matter. I mean, you can get them. You get the chance to get Electrite or Magnemite from them. The fire one was kind of like iffy because they don't mostly give you a Litleo, and I'm just like, nah.
All I got was Vulpix, which I was fine with. Don't get me wrong.
It was also Vulpix? I usually just get a bit Litleo out of those research.
Was it catch 5?
Yeah, catch 5 fire.
I got 1 Litleo and then like 3 Vulpix.
It was like
I think
5 Litleo. So every time I did every time I did that, it was just a Litleo anyways. I think I remember doing a Vulpix, but at that point, why should I? Because I already got the shinies. I got a couple of Hondos, I think. I don't remember, but still. And again, it's not like they're super exciting either, I mean, Magnemite, good for, just like Chris said, Master League Premier. And then Electrite for the Mega. So it's not that it's bad out there, but it's still not as exciting as its other spawns and other things that we want to catch. I don't think I actually saw one Volby research at all. How about you?
one research for Volby? No,
No,
I didn't get any.
Like no matter where
Not that lucky.
No matter where I went, at least in my usual, and I actually see like a good chunk of Pokestops in my area, or at least wherever I go. Whenever I have to do something, I usually stop by places where there's a lot of Pokestops. But still, none of them give them that research, and I was kind of disheartening because it is. It should be a rare research, especially because of the shinies being released like that, but.
For a new shiny, they want to make you earn it for sure.
I guess that's the point of it, but it's still kind of disheartening in that sense. I don't know. Either way, I guess I can see it in both sides of the coin when we check that out anyway. So I did do my 7-day streaks, and all Volubis were trash and non-shinies anyway. So How about you, Chris?
I still have yet to get my 7 day streak for that because I I collected it literally the day before Volibee could be shiny.
Mm,
So tomorrow is going to be my 7 day streak
okay.
for Volibee.
If you get the
So
shiny,
yeah, cross my fingers. I'll get one more check. I
we should
think
do
no,
a
two more checks.
final stream podcast like at the end, and then just like 12 at midnight and be like, did you get the shiny?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you guys, be on the edge of your seats next episode for if I got the shiny Volby. I'll give you
Done.
a spoiler. It won't be shiny.
Well, you never know until tomorrow, or it's midnight tonight, anyways. But
True.
okay. So again, not bad of an event, which technically we're already recapping it right now. Festival I had good spawns, rare spawns, which I like because you have to go your way to actually hunt for them. And the rocket event was not bad. We kind of needed it, especially for frustration, to be able to TM it and everything. And the rockets, they were actually pretty fun to do these days. Aside from probably the same ones that we see every single time, but the grunts has good Pokemons in their leads. Most of them are from like usually a second stage or second part of the battles, but now they're like the very first one, like Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan. I think I saw a Crobat once or something. I don't know, but anyways, I've been seeing like Snowburn and Rawls in the second slot, and I'm kind of sad because those are the ones that I won the most, anyways. But still, so
They definitely put in a lot more fun Pokemon for
yeah.
this event,
And a
in
little
my
more,
opinion.
like challenge too, because you gotta think that those Pokemons can actually have moves that they destroy the Pokemons that you're using. Like I usually use a Togekiss against the fighting grunts because they barely can touch me. But then all of a sudden I see a Hitmonchan and then it starts bowling punching me or something all of a sudden. So
True.
so kind of switching up the strategy wouldn't be a bad idea since I've been using technically the same thing over and over again. But they're not the hardest thing to do anyways. I can pretty much just switch over to another fairy and then beat them down with the 3 second lag.
I think one of my favorite ones for that is when Cliff had C dot, and I'd always use a Metagross versus it, and every single time I was like, "It's gonna be foul play. I know it is." So I'd obviously I'd always be shielding it. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh,
Yeah.
there's no reason not to shield against Shadow Leaders for sure, though.
Yeah, so and then now that the leaders have switched over to their new Pokemon spawns, shinies, and everything. So Sierra has Nidoran, female Nidoran actually. Arlo
Queen.
has Gligar. Thank you for reminding me. and and Cliffs has Grimer, which I think we've seen that one before. So it's not like it's a
Yeah,
super new one, but still getting a shiny shadow of those are not too bad. All three of
I think.
them are pretty good, especially of course the Nidoran because people wanting that for Shadow Nidoran, Nidoqueen.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think this is the first time we had all three that were like a really good one.
yeah,
I mean, some people can probably argue for the other ones, but in my opinion, these are very relevant Pokemon. They're very cool Pokemon.
yeah, yeah.
So I don't have a problem with them at all.
I don't either, and I'm really glad. In the last rotation, it took a while for me to get any of the shinies from the rocket leaders. I was able to snag the Snizzle, which unfortunately was like my fifth shiny, anyways, not the Shadow, but anyways. And I was able to snag up the what was the other one for Arlo? I think it was I
Um.
can't remember.
Oh shoot, that's tough. Let me take a look.
Yeah, hang on a second. We're professional players, guys. Don't worry. Oh god, where is the shinies? Oh, Venonat.
Venonat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got at least.
his was kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I like those. I like those. So not too bad of a haul for the shiny shadows. I do have quite a bit of a nice haul. Not every single one, but I did get the Beldum. I actually got two Beldum shinies. I was actually kind of happy about that. From Jesse and James, I got a bunch of other ones. Um, so far, usually I get 2 out of the 3 leaders as shiny shadows in every rotation. So it's not a bad thing. A good thing will be, getting all 3 of them, but beggars can be choosers. And whenever I see the other one, I'm like, well, I already got you, but I know you're good for PvP, so I'm going to get you again anyway. So
I mean, yeah, I've gotten to a point, like, I used to be really, really picky about which one I would do.
yeah.
But I've gotten to a point where I just want to do whichever one I bump into, and I'm like, it's fate.
It's fate.
But I mean, like, I don't even have to feel bad when all the leaders have a good Pokemon.
Yeah. So it's not bad. Now, of course, we do have Giovanni came back actually.
He was hiding.
And he was hiding once again. There's a chuckle in my house. Do you want me?
You're welcome.
I was about to say. You want me to give it the look?
I sent him over there.
I know, right? I don't know why. I just turned to my screen and outside I see a chuckle. Anyways, but either way, Giovanni being back is actually good. Some people were waiting on doing some of those rocket radars, and of course the super rocket radar for Giovanni. It's not a bad thing. People want it because they want to complete the medal. I know I don't. I'm not even near close of the next medal. I think. Let me see here. Where is
I think
Giovanni?
people are saying they want his belt. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, or his pants or something. We already got the pants for Giovanni. We just need the gloves and the shirt, which takes another. For me, it takes another 7 Giovanni encounters. It should be more for anybody who's done every single research, or should be less. I'm sorry, for somebody who's done every single one of the Super Rocket Radar encounters. Mm-hmm. So also Shadow Lugia, a beast of a shadow Pokemon, of course. I know the controversy is that we didn't get Gale of Darkness, Shadow Lugia's design into Pokemon Go. So let me reiterate on this before we move on a little bit more on that. Shadow Lugia, or at least I'm sorry. I'm not going to say Shadow Lugia. I'm going to say XD001, which is the Shadow Lugia from XD Gale of Darkness, okay? Yeah, I got to say that because there got to be a difference on this. XD001 has, unfortunately, the creator of it has the rights to it. Not even the Pokemon company and, Pokemon proper has the rights to this. And it's something that happened over, 15 years ago already. And it's definitely something that a lot of people are respecting. The reason why we have Shadow Pokemons is because of that game. We know the Shadow Pokemons are prevalent to be, stronger than should be. But of course, they're hard to get close. They attack people and things like that. So the design of Shadow Pokemons comes from that game specifically. But that's just a concept of the game. So it could be, move over to other things like Pokemon Go. But the design of XD is a lot harder to obtain, if you know what I mean, right, Chris? The rights for that design, it's a lot more harder to get, and copyrights and everything. So if Niantic would have been able to get it, then that means the Pokemon Company would have get it, and of course they would have been spread out through so many decisions, maybe TCG or regular Pokemon or anything like that, to have Shadow Lugia technically appear in every single game out there, but it cannot. It's only tied into XD Gale of Darkness game, so.
Yeah, you can't even be mad at Niantic, honestly. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, it would have been amazing if it was in there, but, you can't blame Niantic. You can't even blame Pokemon.
Yeah.
No. Just like you said, it's the other company.
Yeah, it's the other company, or at least
it's
the
not
creator.
Even their fault.
Yeah, I think the director has the rights to that, and that's what it makes sound to it, so it's harder to get that than anything else, and if the possibility would have been there, yes, it would have been having a chance. But this is not XD Gale of Darkness. This is not the Orange region or whatever it is called over there. It is the real world Pokemon Go proper. So Pokemon Go will have its own design. We know what the design is now. And Shadow Lugia is a powerful Pokemon as a shadow. And a lot of people are getting hundos of it.
Dude, for God. Shadow Lugia, funny enough, you literally, for it to perform better than a normal Lugia in Master League, you just need a 6/6 6, which sounds funny. But yeah, exactly. Yours is already better
Right.
than a Master League perfect Lugia.
Right.
And we know a few people, Summertime Lovin', that have purified their Shadow Lugias. To get that Hondo, get them good goods. But I've seen a lot of very prominent PvPers that say the Shadow Lugia will almost always perform better, and I definitely see that in Master League. I mean, look at Shadow Metagross.
Yeah. Yeah.
That thing is terrifying when it's a Shadow Pokemon.
Definitely, as a shadow Pokemon being stronger that way. I know we're the Purified podcast, so I'm actually glad that whatever he did, he did.
Yeah, we support you, but I am gonna judge you.
Don't get me wrong. It's definitely better to keep it as a shadow than anything else. If you got a shadow Hondo, then congrats, you just won the lottery because it's not the easiest thing in the world. So it's like 3 different types of people. You either get the crappy IVs, which still good. Because I think every single Shadow Lugia that I've seen had at least a 555 rating across the board. I don't think I've seen one that's gone below that, which is surprising because I think that they actually fix a little bit of that when it comes to Shadow Pokemons, or at least Shadow Legendary Pokemon. So I don't know. Niantic is scheming something around the schemes, but I don't know. Do you feel that at the same time? Outside of the topic of Shadow Lugia, do you feel like the disappearance of Giovanni and then the return of Giovanni just because it gets a new Shadow Pokemon or Shadow Legendary Pokemon, doesn't the event just seems kind of lackluster when he just comes back with the same thing over and over again?
I think it's funny.
Why?
He's like, maybe this time I'll beat you. Bringing next time he's probably gonna bring like, I don't know, Shadow Diglett.
Well, we had Shadow Ho-Ho and Shadow Lugia. We had the birds and the beasts. Well, dogs, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so at this point, his only choice is to move on to Gen 3, right?
Sure.
Which is just a
Best
speculation I point him on, but it's more obvious that if they continue this trend of just having him with a new Shadow Legendary Pokemon, we technically already have all the roamings from Generation 1 and Mewtwo. We have all the roamings from the Generation 2 Lugia and Ho-Ho, so the 2 exclusives out of the 2. So the only other one would probably be Mew and Celebi, but I don't think he can actually obtain those if the story dictates. It could be possible, but I don't think so. It doesn't feel right to see a Shadow Mew or Shadow Celebi at that point,
I don't think giving him a Shadow Mythical would be
the best
in
move.
Pokemon Go's best interest.
Yeah. Especially because Mew and Celebi are kind of like the friendship kind of mythicals anyway. So almost every single mythical out there has a cuteness to it, and unfortunately, putting a shadow over it doesn't feel right for the mythical Pokemon. Mew is a playful kind of Pokemon, and Celebi is the time Pokemon. So it's not like something that Giovanni can just access out of nowhere,
I mean, you've seen the movie for Celebi, right?
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean anything when it comes to Pokemon Go.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So yeah, I do feel that I don't think that he's gonna get any mythicals in that regard. If they do, kudos to Niantic for actually trying something new. But if that's the case, then Generation 3 is his next stop. We either see what's the roaming? The Regis, right? Yeah, the Regis. Well,
yeah, Shadow. Oh God, Shadow, freaking Registeel. Oh no.
So it's either that, or we're gonna see a variation of both Kyogre, Groudon, and Rayquaza, which I'm totally okay with, no matter what you see it. And you hear it here first in this podcast only, because I don't think anybody else has actually thought about that. Shadow Gen 3 Legendaries, it's coming to Pokemon Go in some way, shape, or form. So there you have it. So Chris is like, what?
Hyperventilating.
I know, right? But yeah, that would be cool anyway. So I do feel like maybe one point we'll have a change on the mechanics of how Shadow Leaders or Giovanni will actually, come around anyway. So if they change the story, that'd be great. If they change the way that we do things with Giovanni, that'd be even better. I just feel like there should be more to the story than just see him then as the villain out there, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I don't hate the way they do things right
I
now.
don't either.
I
It's
mean, the
just
only thing I think they need to do is make it so you can kind of like stack the rocket radars.
that'd be fun.
Um, I'm sure a lot of people want that though.
Well,
Like, you
they're
fight 6 grunts and then you can't get any more pieces.
yeah. Well, they're
I not have
definitely.
2 hands.
I know, right? It's like I'm searching for 2 liters, anyways. No, yes and no. I think that the only good thing that they're actually doing to keep the system alive, because battling grunts, battling leaders, it makes sense. You find them every time.
Yeah.
They're always hiding somewhere. Kind of thing. So Giovanni only coming back every now and then is better than having him literally spawn every other day with the rocket leader raiders and everything. So, or the super rocket raider anyway. So.
I think it makes him more exciting, and it makes the shadow legendaries definitely more exciting to get.
I
mean, they are free too, so
yeah. Well,
technically,
when we had Pokemon Go Fest with the Shadow Rocket event on day 2 on 2020, I believe, all the IP spreads were research spreads, so they weren't anything lower than 10 at best, and then anything higher than that could be closer to the 100. So maybe they. Probably, if they switch that, I'd be more inclined to do them more easily. But again, it's the thrill of the hunt. Just like anything goes with Pokemon Go. You either get the hundo or you get the trashy. So,
yeah.
So I guess you never really know until you see it. But Niantic always has something figured out for the next few years. So they are definitely looking into something different maybe. So... All right, so I think we rant on a little too much on the Rocket events and everything, but I think it's also nice to recap on how we see Rocket, Team Go Rocket in the game. I like it, I love it, and I hate it all the same. So
Very passionate.
I know, right? But yeah, so how did it fare out? Festival of Lights was an okay event. Could have been better with just a couple extra additions, but we know that maybe I want to say I give it a 7.5.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
7 or 7.5.
Yeah, I think that it could have been just a tiny bit better if they added something more. But that more is just either a good legendary, a new legendary, or a shiny legendary at this point, or a shiny legendary that we care about, anyways. So,
Yeah. It was exciting to have them finally get their moves, though. Sacred Sword on I don't think Virizion had it. I know Terrakion didn't, though.
Yeah, no. Both Terrakion and
was exciting,
Virizion
at
didn't
least.
have it at the time. Only Cobalion.
Okay.
Because Cobalion came out a little bit before Pandemic started, and that's when the Secret Move came out. So it makes sense. But yeah, all right. So we got our ratings, we got our things, we got our recaps. Let's go ahead and move on to today's news. We have such an very interesting piece of information to talk about today. So let's go ahead and talk about it, right, Chris?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ooh. If you guys don't know, we're less than a week away from the release of a new main series Pokemon game. And what does main series Pokemon games mean? Well, of course, Pokemon Go tie-in events. Duh. We're going to celebrate the release of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl with a Pokemon Go event.
Woo! I like it when they do things like this because, correlations with the main series games just give us a more way of doing things. But we have really
extra hype,
like a super extra hype, especially because both Chris and I were going to be getting the games and we're going to be playing them on our streams and the proper streams here. So make sure you check us out. Myself at Pure Letter Go or Pure Letter. And Chris at PKM and Trigger Please, which, he will change it a bit.
On Twitch.
On Twitch, thank you. But yeah, so trainers, just like they say, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl will be releasing on Nintendo Switch on November 19th, which is literally next Friday. They have information about that in the proper, Pokemon website. However, experiencing the Sinnoh Ribbon in an adventure reborn in the games that they're appearing. In celebration of release of these games, Pokemon originally discovered in the Sinnoh region will be appearing more often in Pokemon Go. Turtwig, Chimchar, and Piplup wearing special Sinnoh Spire hats will be appearing in the wild and avatar items inspired by the same first partner Pokemon will be available in the shop. So, we got we got 6 custom Pokemons that we're gonna have to hunt for once this event starts. So when does this event start? Well, celebrating Tuesday, November 16, which is literally 2 days from now, at 10 a.m. to Sunday, November 21st at 8 p.m. local time. Here are the details. The event bonuses will be half incubator distance and 1/3 super incubator distance. So that's actually pretty good, especially because Community Day is coming too. Our custom Pokemons, of course, will be Turtwig, Chimchar, and Piplup wearing the Lucas hat, and of course the same correspondent to Don's hat. So if you're lucky, you might encounter shiny one of those. 6 shinies.
That Piplup with Don's hat for sure.
They look pretty good. I actually like it better with Lucas hat, actually. Same with the Turtwig.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad. Collection challenge. So in celebration of the custom Pokemon making the debut, a collection challenge will be available that requires you to catch them all. So you don't have to catch the shinies, but you have to catch them all. Complete the challenge to earn 1,000 experience, 3,000 stardust, and an encounter with Frostlass. Ooh.
Not bad.
Not a bad encounter. It could have been better. Of course,
Yeah.
we will have, of course, new avatar items, stickers, and bundles. We have Chimchar 1C, Piplup 1C, and Turtwig 1C.
Oh my gosh, these are terrifying.
I know, right?
It looks like their mouth is swallowing you.
That's hilarious. We also will have corresponding Sinnoh costumes based on, of course, the games, and that will be the Lucas outfit and then the Dawn outfit. So not pretty bad. And we do have stickers. Some of them are pretty good because they're the starters, and then the other ones are, the Dialga, Palkia, and Lucario. So I'm actually gonna get those. So open gifts, everybody. Open these gifts. The following bundle will be available in the shop throughout the event. The event box one-time exchange only of 20 Pokeballs and 1 Sinnoh Stone. And then the gray box, 300 Pokecoins, one-time exchange, 3 super incubators, 2 incubators, and 1 lure module. Okay. Not bad for 300 coins. Yeah, not bad for 300 coins. So this is also going to be a 2-parter event. So from November 16 to Thursday, November 18, we're going to be celebrating first the Brilliant Diamond event part of the game. This is the first half of the event, and interestingly enough, I think the red Sinnoh hats, or at least the Luca Sinnoh hats, will be appearing more frequently in the wild. I think you can still get both of them, but I think the other ones will be more prevalent at the time.
Yeah, I'm reading further, and I'm kind of scared now.
So the following Pokemon will appear more frequently in the wild. We have Seal, Murkrow, Puchiania, Aeron, the 3 starters with the hats, Bidoof, Kricketot, Veneri, and Stunky. 99% of those spawns are shiny. Only Stunky is not shiny.
I like the Seal. And at least Stunky can be Ditto, I believe.
Correct. That also could be a Ditto encounter with a shiny possibility. So technically we have all shinies there, but again, it's kind of like, I don't really worry about the Seal anymore since I got my 2 from the Safari Zone anyways.
I need it.
I could use another Puchiana or 2. I don't need any more Aerons. Maybe another Bidoof would be nice. I still need Kricketot, and it would be nice to get a shiny Hundo or Shando Binary anyways because of the Mega anyway. So that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, so those are the Pokemon that will be more frequently in the wild. And if you're lucky, you might encounter the following ones. So Scyther, Larvitar, Burmy, the Planclote, and Whistle. So, or Whistle. I don't want to do. Not a bad part because Larvitar is actually still pretty good. I would like extra large candies even though I already got my 100%, I think. Burmy is a shiny that I definitely need still.
I think I do too, yeah.
So,
and Weasel.
One of the two in the end of the day. Scyther is kind of like meh, but I'm still looking for the Hondo anyway, so. Or the Shando.
The Shando.
Yeah. We do have 1-star raids. Cranidos, Drifloon, Bronzor, and Gibble. once again coming back. So all 4 of those
Very
1-star
cool.
rays are actually shiny available. And they're actually pretty good for 1-star. So I might be going my way of actually doing them when they appear. I'm not gonna literally hunt them all together, and I think I have enough shiny gibbles to make a dent. So
Yeah. Only extra large candy. That's the only reason to do that, I think.
I got more than enough too, so don't worry about that.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah. What? We had a calm day. Why am I? I'm silly.
Cranidos, of course, will be something that I would like to hunt. That is a beautiful shiny, so that might be my go-to shiny hunt, anyways. Bronson, shout out to Chris here. And then
Well,
oh god. In 3-star race, we do have Tyranitar, Lopunny, Drapion, Toxicroak, and Gallade. Not a bad again. Lopunny being shiny is actually pretty prevalent here. Everything else just seems like if you get them, you just get the extra large candy for it anyways. So 5-star race, we do have Cresselia. Cresselia caught during the event will know the attack Grass Knot. Ooh.
very good for Ultra League.
Don't try to get the border booster one though. Because you can try to see if you can trade it so you can get one underneath for the 1500.
Oh yeah, for Great League, yeah.
Yeah. Try to get that Nando for that if you can. The closest you can ever be. But anyways. And then of course our Mega Race will be Mega Lopunny. Interestingly enough, 3-star race has Lopunny regular and Mega Race has the Mega Lopunny. Do you see why there's a controversy in that one? Why would they put both of them in 2 different rates?
That is weird. There's no reason not to raid the Mega other than, oh, I only have 2 people. I can't defeat the Mega.
Yeah, no, right?
I don't know. Yeah,
well,
if you can, go for the Mega for sure.
Well, yeah, because Mega Lopunny, Mega Energy is still prevalent anyways. I could just walk my Lopunny and get the Mega Energy, but I don't know. I don't really need to. If that's the case, I really don't need to do the regular Lopunny just to get Shando or close to that, because the Mega Lopunny will be more than sufficient in that regard. You get more value that way anyways. So.
Oh, yeah.
So that's that. I am hatching an egg, so give me a second here. Let's see what I get.
Sure.
Ta-da. Neither are. Okay, nobody cares. Then we have the next part of the event. Actually, no, before we go to the next part, we do have eggs to talk about. You got a Hypno in the wild?
A 1462 Hypno. What the heck?
So this is actually the most exciting out of this whole event for 2 different reasons. But here's just the following. So on eggs, 7k eggs, we'll have a 1 tier only. And
Right.
all of this can be shiny. Now, what are these Pokemon? You can see it on the screen now, but we have Bidoof, we have Bonsley, we have Happiny, we have Mine Jr., and we have Riolu. And this is a confirmation for anybody who's listening to the podcast either today or throughout the parking stream. Mine Jr. is a global release shiny and regular spawn in the eggs for the very first time. Mine Jr. was only available in the region of Europe because of the Mr. Mine being its only regional there. So now that we got Mine Jr., it's time to hatch those eggs. It's 1 out of 5. You'll definitely get the regular one, but if you're lucky enough, you'll get a shiny one.
My poor wallet.
Luckily, of course, the event also gives you, half distance. So hatch those eggs when you can and make sure that you don't stock up on regular eggs during this event. Oh, lordy. Yeah, so the 2 reasons, of course, our Mine Jr. being in the eggs. And then Riolu, which is a harder Pokemon to actually find and definitely harder one to hatch. So those 2 being prevalent to get them, both shinies and regulars or good IVs or even extra large candy for it. Go ahead and hatch them all. What do you think, Chris?
They're all good shinies. They're all shiny possible. So I don't think you can really go wrong hatching 7Ks right now. Like, This is probably the best spawn pool we've had for a very long time. I'm still waiting on shiny Munchlax, though.
Yeah, definitely something like that. I mean, it could have been for this event, too, because,
Yeah. I'm disappointed, but happy.
It's like, my day is ruined, and my disappointment is immeasurable. But yeah, so Definitely a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful 7K egg pool. I know there's only so many eggs you can hatch a day, and then so many gifts you can open a day. So make sure that all your friends and send you gifts as much as possible. And don't open them all until you have a full batch, and then open the rest one. So anybody who's my friend, I'm sorry if I don't open it for gift or for friendship. I'm just gonna be opening for eggs anyway. So, but yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. We do have our field research, so we'll have some encounters in field research. So we have Bagon, the 3 starters, Burmese Sandy Cloud, and Burmese Trash Cloud. So not a bad field research encounter for Pokestops anyways. I'm pretty sure that maybe 1 or 2 will be the starters. Bagon will be a rare one, and then Burmese Cloak and Burmese Trash Cloak will be even rarer anyway. So we'll see how it goes.
I'm really disappointed right now that the Dawns are in there. But I'm also nervous because usually they like to bundle all the starters together in a quest.
Right.
So that means I'll be doing the quest trying to get that Piplup, and I'm gonna keep getting Turtwig and Chimchar over and over. I'm calling it right now.
Oh my God.
I'm not even gonna get Piplup until like the last possible Pokemon.
There's also going to be a field research encounter for Shieldon, so make sure you keep an eye on that one, and once the event starts, we'll know exactly what it is. We'll probably know it by tomorrow night anyway, so because of the other side of the world. So that'd be nice. So that is part 1, which is Brilliant Diamond. Now let's move on to part 2, Shining Pearl, from November 18 all the way to November 21st. The second half, of course, will feature these wild spawns. We will have Pinsir, Mischievous, Houndour, Spheal, the 3 starters with Dawn's Hat, Bidoof.
I take back everything I said.
Kricketot, Veneri, and Glameout. I knew you were gonna say something at the end of this anyways, Chris, because you never let me finish until the last part of the event. Oh my lord, Chris. So those are the spawns. The only one that cannot be shiny out of that one is Seal, which unfortunately I don't understand why they wouldn't release it at this point. If you're lucky,
you can't overload it.
I know, right? If you're lucky, you might encounter the following, of course. There will be Slowpoke, Bagon, Weasel, and Burmese Sandy Cloud. So, of course, those all can be shiny too. So, it will be an interesting grind. Definitely something that you want to go out for. Raids. We have Shieldon, Drifloon, and Bronzong in 1-star raids. So, not bad. The Shieldon also is another one that I need shiny of. So, give or take. I don't know why they took the rest of them out, but we'll see. In 3-star raids, we have Salamence, Lopunny, Drapion, Toxicroak, and Gallade. So the only thing that's switching here is the Tyranitar for Salamence. So everything else is still the same. And then our 5-stars and Mega stays the same throughout the course of the event. I still don't know why Lopunny will be there anyways. But anyways, I would have wished to see Mega Salamence at this point. But that's just a wishful thinking. So... after that, we do have our 7KX, which technically are the same. So that's still spawning throughout the entire event. The same Pokemon and the same shinies. So again, you still got more chances all the way until the end of the event. Field Research Encounters. This time it's a little bit smaller. The 3 starters will be the ones with the Lucas hat. And then the 2 Burmese, both Plant Cloak and Trash Cloak, will be in Research Encounters. And then we do have the ability to get Larvitar and Cranidos in Research Encounters. So different types of events, just switching it up a little bit, minimizing some of the event stuff, and then, getting to that point. So, but yeah, with that being said, that is actually all that we have for the event and release of Brilliant Diamond and Shiny Pearl. It starts on Tuesday, but the game doesn't come out until Friday. We'll definitely be grinding the game. I am off on Tuesday, so I'll definitely be grinding all of that. Chris, can you join me, or are you working that Tuesday?
I might be able to join you for part of Tuesday.
Yes.
I'll let you know. I got you.
Yes. Excuse me. So that is the event. Definitely feels like a great one. It could have been one smidge better if they either put a new Mega or the return of Dialga and Palkia. Which
yeah, they missed out.
Yeah.
They missed out on that. Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. We have this event all the way until the 21st, which if we do a little bit of math here, Let's see, it starts in 2 days and ends on the 21st. So we actually have like only a week of this event. So we'll have our ratings and everything by the next podcast, anyways. It could have been if they said, "Oh, we're gonna have a special weekend." Well, Dalga and Payalga will be coming back for 2 days only. I'm like,
I can hope.
nah. Well,
Shiny Dialga is just so good, man.
oh my god! Just give me the Hundo already. I don't care about the shiny anymore. The other the Shando. Just give me a Hundo. Oh Lord. But yeah, that's still pretty good. And this event seems prominent to do a lot. My wallet is definitely going to cry over those eggs because I want all those shinies. I mean, I could use 3 out of the 5 shinies in there, and that because Mr. Mime.
Yeah, that Mime Junior for sure.
Mime Junior, and then Riolu. I don't have a shiny Riolu or even a shiny Lucario.
I don't think I have any of the 3 on the right. I don't have Happiny, Mime Junior, or Riolu.
No, I don't have any other. I don't even have a regular Chansey shiny, so yeah, Happiny will be nice. But I'll be hatching a lot of eggs, so that's my take. And then the raids whenever I can. So I've been kind of saving some coins for it. I've been trying to make sure my inventory is nice and neat. I'll definitely try to hatch all of my eggs before the end of the night tomorrow. Or by the end of the night tomorrow. So even if I had to do the suck trick
tomorrow.
Yeah, even if I do the suck trick, I have to finish it. But yeah, I'm excited. It seems like a cool event. I'll definitely be grinding it the day off, so that'll be nice. And thank you so much, Kingsmaster, for actually joining us and the festivities here, or at least the festivities of next week. Some miscellaneous news to cover real quick. You guys probably noticed a surge of gyms and stops around your area. This was because of the 3 games that Niantic is handling. Well, technically 4, but it will be 3 at the end of the year. Where all the games are connected and the spawn post and everything goes through. We appreciate it, anybody who's actually listening here today. But thank you so much. Anyways, Niantic has stated that this was an error based on their waypoints and everything. So unfortunately, they have stated that most of this would be removed from the game. They are trying their hardest to make sure some of them can be kept, but unfortunately, most of them will be reverted back to either Pokestops or disappear altogether from the map. So this has happened already in the last few days, and it has been reverted. So I actually seen, like in my workplace, I had a new gym, which was technically a stop before that, but now it reverted back to a Pokestop at the time I finished. So not a bad thing because I kind of want more research anyways, but it would have been good to have another gym anyways to use. What do you got?
So you got the badge for that new gym, right?
Yes.
Does it still save that badge in your journal like then?
I'll check it in a second because a Pharisee just spawned in my house and I needed to catch this anyways. Oh god.
I understand.
Unfortunately it wasn't shiny, but I don't know. I never see a wild spawn like that, for a Pharisee. Oh, goodness. Anyway, so let me check if I do. I know that once the gym disappeared, my Pokemon came back. Let's see, lists. That's not
Does
that
it give
one.
you the coins if they get sent back too?
Yes. Unless you actually already claim your coins for the day anyways. Let's see. La, 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 la. I know I had at least... The only problem is really knowing where it is. Points. So surprisingly I have a lot of gold badges. I know it was silver by the time I finished with it. I wanted to get the gold before, but unfortunately it just wasn't happening. I don't think I have it with me right now. It should be somewhere around here though.
It almost makes me curious if they just completely take it out,
Yeah, I can understand that. I know I have it, but I just don't know where or which one it was right now. Mostly because, I still have the ones from, what's it called? The event in Go Fest when they spawn those gyms just to test out the raids and everything. There it is. Yeah, no, I have it. So I was able to defend it by 3 days and 4 hours and 38 minutes before it was taken away from being a gym. So It's nice to have a badge that technically disappear, but it's the same when a gym itself disappears completely, which had happened before. I used to work in a different place, and I had a gym where I have a full gold badge, but that gym now has disappeared and it's never coming back, unfortunately, because the place itself is different now. So
Yeah, I think it makes them more rare.
Yeah.
In your collection for sure.
I do, like I said, I do have some from the Go Fest, and I have a lot from different other places, anyways, because remote raiding is a thing. So not a bad thing in the end of the day. So that again, going back to what they were saying, the gyms, they're not staying. The Pokestops, they're not staying, mostly because the Wayfair part is not correspondent to what they want to make sure Wayfair really is. Which, if you don't know what Wayfair is the system that we use to be able to nominate stops or places to make either Pokestops or gyms around your area. You can nominate and make sure it gets approved, but if it doesn't get approved, of course, that is because they have a list of a list of questions and concerns of why that Pokestop could be good or not, depending on what it is. So they want to make sure they keep that integrity there, and they did promise that they'll try to see if they can keep as much as possible from this outage of Pokestops and gyms anyway. So either way, it's not bad, but it would have been nice to keep all of that in the end of the day. And after that, I think the last thing we actually forgot to talk about last time is the maintenance. So we did have a maintenance from like November 3rd to November 5th. It was only like a 2 or 3 day maintenance. We still could play the game. There was some lag out of it. And after that, nobody really said anything, and we don't have any news about that. So I don't know what else to talk about when it comes to it.
No, they're just getting ready for the confetti drop.
Okay, hold on. I forgot about that. Let me show you guys what it means, what it was. Oh my lord.
I'm surprised it's still going.
No, it's gone. It's gone.
Oh, it's on my screen.
Oh, goodness.
What the heck?
Oh, you definitely have some kind of glitch there because the event is over.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. So I took a screenshot of what it is, and unfortunately, yes, there was a lot of confetti, and I think that's the reason why I have what I had in as the notes here. The title here is Too Much Confetti. It's mostly because the game itself, at the end of the Festival of Lights, or at the last 2 days of the Festival of Lights, there was too much confetti happening, and it shouldn't have happened. Definitely something that it should not have happened. It was too much confetti, and Chris, you can probably show your screen more than I can, anyways.
It's funky, man. I personally didn't have a problem with it. I think it would be more of an issue if you're trying to click on like specific Pokemon and it kept getting covered up by confetti.
Yeah.
But we don't really have that problem.
Yeah. Well, it was just that everybody was complaining about, so I was like, I wanted to make sure.
Everybody just wants to complain. I don't know, man.
It's like, this is too much. It's like, and if you zoom out and in and out and things like that, you actually see the confetti move away, but it then comes back. So it wasn't that much difference in the end of the day. But yeah, and then after that, there actually is a little bit of, I don't know if it's misinformation or something, but there was an article that somebody shared with me earlier today stating that somebody in Niantic has confirmed, or kind of confirmed that maybe Kecleon may be coming up pretty soon into the game. They have stated that Kecleon has different personality, different ways of actually how it produces its gameplay in main series games. It's definitely going to be a grand event for it, since it's been something that we wanted probably in the last 3 or 4 years, anyways. But it's kind of like the article just states that it's a possibility that it may be coming between the end of December. Or by the end of the year, or beginning of next year, sometime sometime very soon. So, if it does, that'd be cool. But I don't know. That was just an article that somebody shared. It seems interesting that it was a Niantic employee that said that. But hush hush. Hopefully, nobody actually tells or leaks any information about how Kecleon really works. Anyway, so. But yeah, that's pretty much it on the news section. Let's move on to PvP section. Get good, get right. Here we go, Chris.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? So there's really not much when it comes to GBL or Celta Arena. Celta Arena is having his round 2 of season 3, I believe. Or second month of season 3. I don't know, Chris. I don't remember at this point. But yeah, it's an interesting cup because it's the weighted cup and it's just coming around to it. But before we move on to anything like that, I don't think there's much to talk about on there. And, GBL has Kanto Cup and Master League anyway. So let's move on to some faction updates. What we got there, Chris?
All right. Switch Masters versus Team Flareon. I'm on Switch Masters for anyone new. We actually won this round. Very, very close. 11-10. Something I'm very proud of with our team is we didn't get 3-0'd at all. Literally everybody was able to bring home at least 1 point, and obviously they all added up. I went 2-1, and immediately I was like, guys, I'm sorry. I couldn't get that extra point for you guys. And they're like, don't worry, we got you. And oh my gosh, they did insane. I want to give a huge shout out to Nosh Jelson on our team. He was able to go 3-0. The only person in our team to go 3-0. We did have 2-2-1s, one from Loudmouth and the other one from Gillette. I really hope I'm saying that right. But very proud of our team. Hopefully the next round is a little bit more strong of a winning, but a win's a win. I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, definitely. Congratulations. At least with the rough starts of the season, there's definitely improvement. It was a rough week for you guys, but you pulled it through and you got your winnings in, so it's all going up from there. So here we go, Chris. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This week's. And anybody on Switch Masters, congratulations too. Real quick, before we end the stream and the podcast today, I do want to mention there was one last thing, a piece of information that I forgot to cover. And real quick to know about it, if you don't do your misunderstood research, special research that you have, try to get it done as soon as possible before the end of the next event, which is, of course, the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl event. Battle Giovanni if you can, as fun as possible, because once you're done, that will be the last 2 steps that you gotta do. And the last one is just claim whatever rewards they give you. Mostly because at the end of that research and at the end of the month, we'll have our special event when it comes to misunderstood research. Hoopa being the prominent Pokemon that's gonna be featured in this event, and then maybe another special research that you can get for free if you complete the one before that, which is the one that either we finish or they haven't finished yet. If you don't finish it by the time I think that the event starts, you can still get the special research so long as you do pay up a good $4.99 for that research, or $4.99 to make it clear. So just to prevent to anybody who's actually playing this game as much as possible but doesn't want to waste a lot of money, just finish the research as soon as you can and then just go about it and go nuts at the end of the day. So, good? Good.
I'm not paying $4.99.
I know, right? But yeah, so with that being said, Chris, anything else that we got to cover?
No. I think we covered everything very well.
Yes, definitely. So we'll have more news for you guys next week, definitely. But thank you so much for listening, everybody. For anybody who's come to the podcast services or anybody who's listening on live right here on Twitch. You can always find us at any of the podcast services, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, many of them to go. If you can leave us a review, we would greatly appreciate it. You can also follow our social media accounts. Definitely check us out there. Myself at Pure Letter Go on Twitter, and then Chris at PKMN Trigger Please, just like I mentioned before. You can always email us anything at purifiedpodcast@gmail.com, and don't forget to check us out at the purifiedpodcast.com, the Professor Network. With that being said, Chris, I think it's time to let us go for the night.
All right. If you guys think we missed out on any news, let us know. either in our Discord or on Twitter. And we'll see you next week. Definitely going to be very exciting starting this next event. I hope you guys get exactly what you want. I know I'm going to be hunting that the Mime Junior. Make sure you guys grab at least one or trade for one for your Pokédex.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, see you next week. Let us know what you get. Peace out.
Have a good night, guys. Keep purifying them, and we'll see you guys next time.